Alright, hey all you Stray fans, it's Stray Devil Fox. I hope you guys are doing awesome. So do bear with me as I'm still trying to get over this whole COVID thing, but I have to talk about this. It's my concern for the game The Evil Dead, and this is why I am concerned with this recent patch note. You guys take a look here. You guys can slow this down if you need to. But basically, what the whole patch note entails is they debuffed the crap out of the survivors and they buffed the crap out of the demons. Now, before I go into any more of it, let me go ahead and play a clip for you guys. So, this is from Game Informer when they did an interview with the developers for the Evil Dead game. So, I want you guys to listen very closely.
Will absolutely annihilate anything you possess within seconds. So you have to really...
Yeah.
Because while this demon player is doing fairly well in this demo, a coordinated team of survivors will absolutely annihilate anything you possess within seconds. So you have to really time moments a little bit better. They're kind of just letting Henrietta beat on him here, which is kind of funny. But yeah, if you team up on those monsters, they go down fast.
Awesome. Of course, this is the end screen.
Really revels in this. If you like to play survivors, you'll be happier, and you probably will like the challenge of playing the demon if you're already like a killer player. I would say.
Word.
It's you really have to get in there and really use every tool in your disposal if you want to eke out a victory, because the survivors, as you can see, they don't take it lying down in this game.
Yeah.
And, will absolutely fight back and fight back really hard.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Alright, you guys, you heard it here. So, the game wasn't really meant to be geared more towards the demons, it was meant to be geared more towards the survivors. And I felt like the patch notes came about because so many people that were playing the demons were complaining about losing all the time and that it was unbalanced, and that they need to do something about buffing the demons. So I'm sorry if you guys went into the game not knowing this information provided through Game Informer and by the developers. I don't know what else to say other than, like I said, I'm sorry, but the game was meant to be geared more towards the survivors, and I understand. Losing sucks. It really does. It doesn't feel great. But I've had my matches, I have the game, I was able to pull forth wins with the demons, and no, it wasn't playing as mostly Necromancer, because once I found out that Necromancer, or in other words, the Evil Ash, and found out that he was super strong, I did not want to play him. I wanted to take on the challenge of being able to plan out my strategies and figure out how to do a win with the other demons. And honestly, if you guys aren't up for that sort of challenge, this probably isn't the game for you. Because, as the developer said, you really need to kind of like plan out your strategies, plan out the timing, and figure out how you're going to pull forth a win to be able to win. And when you get people that just want to play the game and just cause all that chaos, and they find that they're losing a lot, they start to complain, and when they complain to the developers and give all that negative feedback, you essentially give no choice to the developers than to conform to your wants. And you can argue that, oh, they don't have to listen to me. This is their game. They can do whatever they want. Well, not really. Because then when you start to threaten like boycotting the game, not playing the game, then of course it's going to make them feel bad, because then it's like, well, we want people to play our game. This is why we put it out. That's pretty much with any game developer. But again, this game is more geared towards the survivors, and if you don't like playing as the survivor, then again, like I said, I'm sorry. This might not be the game for you because it's geared more towards the survivors, and the demons really have to plan out their strategies. Now, I'm not saying that all the patch notes that they put out were unnecessary. Maybe they did need to kind of buff some of the necromancers' minions' limb damage, so that way they can take more hits. But overall, I think most of the buffs that they gave to the necromancer were unnecessary because he was already pretty strong. His units have shields, in which it takes off a pretty good chunk of damage. So that in itself, I feel like, again, it was just unnecessary. The units in themselves already did a pretty good amount of damage, and they had pretty good range because they had spears. And it's already hard enough trying to pick people up when they're downed because of the frequency of all the attacks of the minions. Because all it takes is just one swipe while you're trying to pick somebody up, and they'll just slap you out of that animation. And when you're at that little tidbit of being able to pick that survivor back up, it can make all the difference. Now, if you have people that are complaining about wanting to win more as the demons, I feel like the balance patch that they should have implemented is more towards endgame. And what I mean by that is they should debuff the book of the Necronomicon in the final stage when you're getting ready to expel the Kandarian demon, because that book had so much health. There's plenty of matches that I've had, and I'm pretty sure tons of people have noticed it too, where the book just had an insane amount of health. The survivors could easily just sit back and just watch the monsters and stuff just wail on the book and maybe do 30% damage towards the end of the game. And the timer went from start pretty much almost down to finish, and they only did 30% damage, which sucks. It really sucks, because you kind of want to put people on the edge of their seat at that 50-50. You don't know whether or not the demon is going to win by the time runs out, and then or whether the survivors are going to win. Because most of the time when playing as the demon, I found that it's better to go after the survivors, because you have two options: go after the book, go after the survivors. And if you go after the survivors, it's a little bit easier because the survivors take a little bit more damage. And the thing with the survivors is if at least one of them is still standing, and by the time the book is expelled, the survivors win. And that's pretty much it. It really sucks, because all they did was just really stand on the guidelines, kind of run around, and I only had one option, which was to chase after them and try to down them all. But again, I'm not the developer, but it'd be nice if they listened to some of this feedback, because then, again, I'm really worried, because now a lot of the survivor player base has kind of fallen off, because nobody no longer wants to play the survivors because of how much the demons got buffed. It is insane. It is absolutely insane. Because some of the stuff that I was hoping for the patch note was they buff the healers a little bit, in the sense that maybe add a little another skill set in which the healers can revive a little bit quicker, so they can put their skill points into revive speed. Because let me tell you, again, with the frequency of the attacks of the minions, it gets really annoying, because I've been so close to reviving downed players, but was never able to, because I kept getting hit towards the end of my revive. But again, I really hope they find other ways of balancing all this stuff, because again, with the community complaining about how much they're losing as the demons, and the game is geared more towards the survivors winning than the demons winning, it makes me really, really worried for the game, because the game was really fun, in my opinion, when it first came out, but now it's just way too difficult to play as the survivors, and a lot of the player base, I can say, for the survivors have fallen off, at least until they figure out how to balance the game a little bit better. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your guys' feedback is. Yeah, I really, really hope that they go about the change for the game and balances way better than this. Alright, I'll catch you guys later.